This is WJLA 24/7 News. On your side.
First at 5, this is a live look at the White House. We are keeping an eye on this because the coronavirus task force is set to give their daily update within the hour. We will bring that to you live just as soon as it starts. Well, tonight, a D.C. councilman is mourning the loss of his grandmother to the coronavirus. Trayon White shared the news of her passing today on social media. He posted this photo of his grandmother, Veronica Norman. She was found unresponsive at her home yesterday. The 76-year-old worked at St. Elizabeth Hospital for 40 years. White said that she loved her family and her community. Her passing, just one of 859 tragic deaths across the DMV from COVID-19. And the numbers are still on the rise locally. The district is reporting 127 cases today. Virginia reporting nearly 500 new cases just since yesterday. And Maryland reporting more than 500 new cases today. There are now more than 24,000 confirmed cases in the DMV. And new information tonight, we have learned the D.C. Convention Center is being turned into a care facility to treat COVID-19 patients. Mayor Bowser made the announcement a short time ago. 500 beds will be set up by the first week of May. There will be an additional 1,000 beds by the end of May. The facility will be used to treat patients who don't need ICU care and who do not require a ventilator. While they set up, there will be no parking in much of the area surrounding the convention center. Those restrictions go into place on Tuesday. Now, as the district prepares for an increase in patients, President Trump is focusing on reopening the country. The president insists that the U.S. has enough testing for states to begin opening. But Maryland Governor Larry Hogan says that's just not the case.
I think this is probably the #1 problem in America and has been from the beginning of this crisis, the lack of testing. And the administration, I think, is trying to ramp up testing. They are doing some things with respect to private labs, but to try to push this off to say that the governors have plenty of testing and they should just get to work on testing, somehow we aren't doing our job, is just absolutely false.
Experts at Harvard are echoing Governor Hogan's concerns. They say the U.S. has to more than triple coronavirus testing to safely open the economy. They say the goal should be at least 500,000 tests a day, and right now the number is actually closer to 150,000. The researchers also say the percentage of positive tests is too high right now. The World Health Organization suggested that the positive rate should be between 3 and 12%, and right now the U.S. is still around 20%. Meanwhile, the protests continue across the country today. These images out of Nashville, Washington State, and Denver. Protesters voicing their opposition to stay-at-home orders and pushing for governors to reopen the economy. ABC 7 told you a similar gathering happened in Annapolis yesterday. Now, despite a push to reopen, Maryland State Police actually shut down more businesses today. The flagship car wash center in Rockville is now closed. 7 on Your Side has learned customers were cleared from the property this afternoon. An employee of the business tells ABC 7 they were shut down by the county. And we're working to find out if the company's other car washes have also been forced to close. Now, lawmakers are working on a new small business package to help restart the economy. The Paycheck Protection Program ran out of money last week. The new package would provide an additional $300 billion in funding for small business owners if approved. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says he expects Congress to reach a deal today.
I'm hopeful that we can reach an agreement that the Senate can pass this tomorrow and that the House can take it up on Tuesday, and Wednesday we'd be back up and running. I'm hopeful. I think we're very close to a deal today, and I'm hopeful that we can get that done.
Now, Mnuchin says the package could also include $75 billion for hospitals and $25 billion to improve testing. Now, one local business shifting gears, a local bridal shop. While most weddings have been put on hold, Tang's Bridal and Alterations in Manassas is actually busier than ever, and they're working for free. And as ABC 7's Katie Kairos reports, their clients have shifted from brides to first responders.
The fabric that's used now at Tang's Alterations usually isn't bridal white.
If I don't have the community support, I will not have all this fabric, and I will not have all this filter.
And the most prized material, a HEPA vacuum bag, its cost has skyrocketed.
One lady, Jennifer, had brought in me 8 boxes of filters. That's another 1,000 masks.
Xiao Yin Byram is cutting part of a 1,000 mask order for the Prince William County Fire Department. It started in March when 2 nurses came into the store.
And they're all in tears. And it's just hard to see somebody that has tissue in the hand and they say, I'm afraid to go to work.
That's when Byram and a team of 6 started sewing masks instead of wedding dresses.
They put themselves in front of you. Just like a soldier, they put themselves in front of, they go to fight a war. If you don't give them uniform, bullets, food, how are they going to fight for you?
To make the mask, Byram consulted with doctors about how to make a design that would be medically protective. So inside the fabric, a piece of a vacuum bag can fit, and it covers about 1/3 of your face.
Byram put out the word that she was giving out masks to first responders. She started receiving calls from hospitals placing orders near and far. She's sent masks to hospitals in New York, Chicago, Florida, and more.
And then the nurse say, I feel so much better with this mask. And if we can do that for them, I think that it's just, we're so grateful for what they have, they do every day.
In Manassas, Katie Kairos, ABC 7 News.
And health officials say people may need to wear masks in public for the next year. And some are asking how often you need to clean your mask to keep yourself from getting sick. Well, Ben Garbarek from our Sinclair sister station has the answer.
The CDC is recommending people wear a cloth mask anytime they're in public. Doctors say that could help stop the spread of COVID-19. Doctors say a mask isn't necessarily going to keep you safe from the virus, but it will help keep others safe from it. If you've ever heard someone use the phrase, say it, don't spray it, you can understand why masks can stop the spread of COVID-19.
When you cough and sneeze, when you talk loud, when you say certain words, you can transmit droplets that have COVID-19 in them.
We used FaceTime to talk with Dr. Joseph Castaldo. He's the top infectious disease doctor at Ohio Health. He recommends using a washer and dryer to clean your mask every day. But he says you're not likely to get sick from your own mask.
The likelihood of that is low. I mean, there's all kinds of germs and bacteria that are out there, and we've lived with those for a long time anyway.
He says there are some places where social distancing can be difficult, like a grocery store. That's where a mask can help. He says it doesn't have to cost you much to make one, which will help stop the spread.
You don't have to spend a lot of money on a mask. You could easily make masks with common things around your house, a t-shirt, many things. If you look on social media or YouTube, you'll see people making masks. The big thing is the fit, not the cost of the mask.
Dr. Castaldo says people should wash their hands before they put their mask on and after they take their mask off. Dr. Amy Atkin says wearing a mask in public may need to become a new habit for people for the foreseeable future.
Now, 7 on Your Side has full coverage of the coronavirus pandemic online. In case you missed it, a D.C. chef who had to lay off hundreds of employees is now getting some help. How he's able to pay all of his workers. That story online right now at WJLA.com and inside the free ABC 7 app. Severe weather bringing a ton of hail to the Fort Worth area today. The South is facing another round of severe storms that could include damaging winds and possible tornadoes. Meteorologist Brian Vandegraff is tracking it all from home tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Carl. This is just basically a week away from last Sunday's night outbreak. And I will tell you, we continue to watch a widespread swath of strong weather across the Deep South. Take a look outside right now at the satellite radar, and you can see from Texas to Louisiana, Alabama to Mississippi, all the way across into the Carolinas, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado watch boxes. Those red boxes you see, that area highlighted from the Storm Prediction Center. They are under a moderate risk. That is 4 out of 5, so some pretty intense weather. Now, tomorrow that risk does move up the eastern seaboard somewhat, but notice we are not in that risk zone. So tomorrow, I think we're just going to be talking clouds, maybe a spotty shower or two. Early morning sunshine did fade the clouds this afternoon. Overcast skies. Temperatures you can see right now, 66 in the district. Pretty nice out there. 63 Gaithersburg, 65 Manassas, Upper Marlboro 64, 61 in Winchester. If you want to grill out tonight, go for it. We'll be dry, just cloudy. Temperatures slowly dropping through the 60s. Sundown tonight at 7:50 p.m. Coming up, we'll talk about those rain chances for the week ahead. There are several days where we have rain chances, so you want to pay attention to know when to have that rain gear ready.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Well, 25 years ago, 168 people lost their lives in the Oklahoma City bombing. The victims, which included 19 children, were killed when a truck bomb exploded in front of a federal building. Several hundred more were hurt. Timothy McVeigh was convicted for the attack and later executed by lethal injection. The coronavirus outbreak has canceled most memorials related to this tragedy, but the annual reading of names was pre-recorded along with remarks by political leaders. To see the remembrance ceremony online, you can visit memorialmuseum.com. Well, coming up, coping with stress and fear during the pandemic, the concerning trend that's emerging, and how to know if your habits are becoming unhealthy. And 7 on your side is reported on COVID-19 cases inside of local jails. Well, tonight, a federal judge says things must change. That's next.